Hi, I'm Josh Tickell,
And I'm Rebecca Tickell.
and we're the directors of the Kiss the Ground movie. Welcome to the Kiss the Ground watch party.
We made this film because we're inspired by the powerful solution that soil offers to so many of the world's problems, from drought to health to climate.
Tonight, we're here to celebrate the long anticipated release of the Kiss the Ground movie on Netflix.
7 years long.
Yeah, longer for some of us than others. Now, if you've already watched the film, you know how important this message is. But if you haven't watched the movie, that's okay. Tonight, you're going to get a jolt of energy and information from some of the most amazing people involved in this project. Now, let's get to our panel.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody at home. Thanks for tuning in.
We are so happy that you're here. Let's get to some introductions. Woody, everyone says how awesome it is to hear your voice throughout the film, and I completely agree. So since you are the voice of the Kiss the Ground film, let's start with you.
Yeah, let's start with me. I'm Woody Harrelson. I've been lucky enough to get to moderate this film, which I think is phenomenal and important. So I feel lucky to be here.
You know, Woody, there's always an excitement when a film drops, and usually there's a physical premiere with a Q&A. The disadvantage of those things is only a few people get to watch, and I guess the advantage of this strange world circumstance that we find ourselves in is, well, just like millions of people will get to watch the film right now on Netflix in 25 languages, millions of people can watch this Q&A.
I'm very happy all of you have tuned into this, and I think it's important to watch this film. Tell your friends to watch the film. This is a special day for me. It's my daughter's birthday. It's the autumn equinox, so this is a special time. Let's everybody get active on changing the world a little bit.
Woody, can you tell us how it is that we managed to rope you into narrating Kiss the Ground?
Yeah, I think it's what the film is talking about is one of the most important issues of the day. And Rylan had been talking to me about it for quite a long time. But it's about regenerative agriculture in a way to, regenerate the soil. And I think it could help handle some of the catastrophic things that are coming at us right now. It's one of the most important ways to deal with it, I think, and deal with global warming and such.
And this is what makes you a perfect narrator for this movie. Thank you so much, Woody.
Yeah. Let's go to Gisele. Gisele, hi, it's an honor to have you here. Your involvement in this film means so much to us. Tell us what inspired you to get involved in the Kiss the Ground movie.
This film is different than any others that approach this subject because it does a beautiful job of educating while also providing simple solutions that everyone can do. It leaves viewers feeling hopeful and invites them, their friends and family, to participate in the movement. Kiss the Ground focuses on the concept of regenerative agriculture, which is a system of farming principles and practices that increases biodiversity, enriches soil, and improves water quality. I was so inspired by this film that I wanted to do everything I could in my power to support it and spread its message of hope. At time, especially the times we're living in where the world seems to be crumbling around us, this offers a solution that can help to balance our climate, replenish fresh water supplies, and feed the world. So I'm so excited to be an executive producer of such an important film. It has inspired me, and I hope it will inspire everyone.
Gisele, it will inspire everyone. Thank you. And please give our best to Tom. He's great in the movie as well. Speaking of amazing people that are involved in this film, I want to introduce you to a brother and a dear friend of ours, Ian Somerhalder. Woo! What's going on, Ian?
Hi, Ian.
Thanks for doing this. It's really such an honor and a pleasure to be able to talk to you. You're so awesome.
Ian, you really are the real deal. You are not just talking the talk, you are walking the walk. We know what regeneration means to you, but can you let everyone know why this is such an important issue for you?
Sustainability is not a word we should be using anymore. The word is regenerative. Here, we grow a lot of our own vegetables and fruits. We compost everything. regeneration here on our property is incredibly important to us. And so watching your food grow from soil that you actually created over an 8 or 12-week period that went from dumping food from your kitchen into a huge pile with my daughter, stirring it, adding compost material to it, and basically building a biodynamic system that actually just works without having to utilize a lot of fossil fuels of moving things around and trucking and busing stuff in. It's been really amazing. And to watch our daughter understand that this is happening. And we take her to a lot of farms where these regenerative practices are happening, and it's magic. Smart and empowered consumerism is what's going to drive the regenerative movement. When every high school student, college, whether it's undergrad or grad, every mall development, every millennial or Gen Z or even baby boomers, when people demand that every piece of spinach that they eat or every piece of broccoli that they eat come from a regenerative farm, the whole world will shift on its axis. Climate change will cease to exist. That is what's so exciting for me, to know that we have this ability. There's no more doom and gloom. These are really, really simple practices, but transformative. And that is why I'm so excited to be a part of this and having put this together with this massive team. This is the best thing I've ever gotten to do.
Like other important eco-documentaries like The Cove and Chasing Ice, this movie has a nonprofit partner. And the nonprofit partner is called the Kiss the Ground organization. Tonight with us is the executive director and co-founder of the Kiss the Ground nonprofit organization, Ryland Engelhart. Ryland, it's good to see you. In some ways, you are responsible to blame for us getting 7 years of our life into this film. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your family's passion for good food, and your passion for healthy soil.
Awesome. Thank you so much. My name is Ryland Engelhart, and I am the co-founder of Kiss the Ground, the nonprofit, and I'm also a producer on the Kiss the Ground film. And it's a real joy to be here tonight. Thank you so much.
So Ryland, tell us about the nonprofit. What does it do?
Kiss the Ground, the nonprofit, is a education and advocacy nonprofit whose mission is to inspire people with the possibilities of regeneration. And how that shows up in our programs is we are storytellers. We're telling love stories for the earth. We tell stories about regeneration, about farmers who are taking these practices on and showing that this is possible. So we've created 60 short films around the area and the interest and the intersection of regenerative agriculture. And then we also have an advocacy training program where we train people all over the world how to be prolific, proficient, educated communicators and really the voice about the importance of soil health, the potential of regenerative agriculture as a solution to so many of humanity's problems at this time.
So if you want to support the nonprofit or get involved, you can go to kisstheground.com. Ryland, what are some other ways that people can get involved?
So glad you asked that question. So Kiss the Ground for the last 7 years has been crafting how do we engage society, humanity, all people, all walks of life in supporting the regenerative movement. And what we came up with is a tool called Find Your Path. And it lives on our website and allows you, wherever you are in the world, to type in your interests. And from that place, you actually get a list of actions and things you can engage in to participate and support regeneration wherever you are in the world. So check that out, Find Your Path on kisstheground.com. And then as I shared before, another action that we're inviting people to take on is becoming a soil advocate. Become trained in how you can be the voice of the regenerative movement And we have over 3,000 people trained in 25 countries around the world. So please join that cavalry of activists and people that are using their voice to communicate and inspire others about the potential of regenerative agriculture.
We want to talk about health. Let's face it, with COVID, never has there been a time in our world where our health is so important. And to tell us a little bit about bolstering our health is Dr. Mark Hyman, who also appears in the movie. Now, Mark, for anybody who doesn't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a physician and I practice functional medicine. I'm the head of strategy and innovation at the Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicine. And functional medicine is a systems approach to dealing with solving problems, primarily using food as medicine. I'm also the author of many, many books and the host of the Doctor's Pharmacy podcast.
Mark, can you tell us about the connection between soil health and human health?
Well, soil health and human health are intimately connected because the quality of our food depends on the quality of the soil. And we have literally killed our soil. We've lost 1/3 of all the topsoil. The soil that we do have is nutritionally depleted, lacking in organic matter, which is required to provide nutrition to the plants from the soil. So today, your broccoli has 50% less nutrients than it did 50 years ago, even if it's grown organically, because a lot of the ways we till and use agriculture, even organic agriculture, are problematic. So the quality of our nutrition depends on the quality of the food we grow, and we've been growing extremely poor quality food in poor quality soil, and that needs to change.
It does need to change, and there's plenty more bad news where that came from. But one of the reasons we wanted to make the Kiss the Ground movie is because we wanted to focus on positive changes and actionable things that people can do. Tell us why you think it's important for folks to see this film, Mark.
The reason Kiss the Ground is so important is because it speaks to the fundamental solution to solve human and planetary health. To regenerate soil and regenerate the earth and ecosystems on farms, which has massive downstream consequences. So regenerative agriculture has to meet regenerative health. And in order for us to really focus on the important problems of our time, the global pandemic of chronic disease, the economic burden it causes, the climate and environmental consequences of our food system, the social injustice and structural racism that's embedded in our food system, its impact on education, national security. We have to deal with the food system as a whole. And the best solution is starting with regenerative agriculture that will lead to regenerative health and the regenerative economy and the society as well. So this is probably one of the most important films of our time that focuses like a laser on the fundamental problem that provides hope as well as providing an understanding of the problem. And the hope lays in the possibility of a regenerative future, regenerative agriculture, regenerative health, and a regenerative society.
Absolutely. That was so well said. Thank you. Now we'd love to hear from somebody who spends her life working the land, who spends her life with her family rebuilding the soil, and she's also an audience favorite in Kiss the Ground. Welcome, Donica Markgard. Donica, it's just so great to see you. Thank you for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your involvement in Kiss the Ground?
I am a regenerative rancher, and I'm really looking forward to Kiss the Ground coming out to really highlight the solutions that so many of us have been working and dedicating our lives to.
Donica, one of my favorite moments making this movie was when we and our kids got to come up and visit you on the ranch and see your family at work. Ranching is a lot of hard work. Why do you do it?
My background is in wildlife tracking and permaculture. And so when I learned to observe nature and really sort of see through the eyes of the animals that I was tracking, I learned that there was a lot of work to do to sort of regenerate and restore the habitat that they once lived in. And so I sought out ways that I could interact with nature and mimic natural patterns to produce abundant food for thousands of families. And so that's really why we ranch, is because we wake up every morning with a sense that the work that we do is going to be valued by many, many people, and they're going to depend on us. I like the saying that farming and ranching is a public service, because really what we're doing is more than just producing food, because it's all connected, and we're connected with nature and the natural cycles, and the end consumer can know in their heart that their farmer or rancher is connected with nature and doing the good thing for the soil, and building soil carbon, and doing whatever we can to help be part of the solution to the climate crisis that we are in. And then we go to sleep at night knowing that we did really good, honest, ethical work for the planet and the people.
Well, we know the recent fires were devastating for you and your family, and our hearts go out to you and all of those who are affected. We genuinely want to thank you for your dedication and hard work for the planet.
Yeah.
This one's for Woody. Woody, in the movie, we explore how regenerating the world's soils could literally balance the climate. Now, in your opinion, if we did everything right, if we did composting, if we got all the animals out of the feedlots, if we did no-till agriculture, all these things we know contribute to regenerative agriculture, what do you think the potential is? What do you think the world could look like in, say, 30 years?
Well, it's interesting because I was thinking today how abnormally hot it is, and I think a lot of people have felt that this summer. I mean, it's been an abnormal summer, certainly, but the regenerative agriculture, its ability to reverse global warming and to undo a lot of the damage that's been done, including, how much we've poisoned the earth. It could be a hell of a world. It could really turn things around. And I think we're all aware that we need to make changes. I think this is really fundamental to the changes we need to make.
Hey, Gisele, what is your hope for this film?
I hope that this film inspires change and action across the world, because we cannot take Mother Earth for granted any longer. The messages are everywhere. If we want to have a greener, healthier future, then more people need to hear the message in this film and not only make change themselves, but encourages others to as well. Our planet is our source of life, and what we consume and how we consume it has a direct effect on its health. So I try to be as mindful of this as I can, and I hope this film inspires others to be mindful too, because our children's future relies on the actions we collectively take today. We can't expect progress if we continue to destroy the very organism that we need for our survival. It's crazy. So my ultimate goal is to protect our planet and for generations to come, and I hope this film will inspire everyone to join me in this mission.
All of life is coming out of that soil. All of our food, all of the things that sustain us. I mean, obviously the ocean's important, but we're talking about the soil. So the idea of clean, soil, I want to get down and kiss that. I mean, to me, just the smell of it, the richness of it, the texture, all of it, I think it's well worth kissing.
And speaking of Kiss the Ground, what's cool is Jason Mraz actually wrote a song for the movie called Kiss the Ground, and it plays at the end of the credits. So don't forget to watch the credits. Also, there's an Easter egg in the credits. Jason, thanks for being here with us tonight. You have a food forest in addition to contributing incredible music to the movie. Tell us a little bit about what's germinating from your soil?
So our food forest is very dense, and for what's known as a family fruit farm, that's where you might only have one particular variety of a tree that can serve your household and perhaps your friends and neighbors. So we have a lot of family fruit trees, such as citrus, apple, guava, just some fun Southern California trees. But then commercially, we actually have really packed it in. Commercially, we're growing coffee, avocados, banana, passion fruit, and that's where we're growing in abundance, a true abundance of those types of fruits. It started out as a hobby, just wanted to have some fruit trees in the backyard that I got at the farmer's market. I was surprised that they actually grew and produced fruit. And this sort of surprising miracle that the earth can produce food when you plug something into the soil, it just got me hooked. I was like, well, what else can I grow? What else could I grow? And I started to realize I had all this space between all these trees. It's like if this were a dense forest, the forest would do its work to fill in all the dense spaces. So I've tried to do the same thing and fill in as many of the spaces as possible without having to expand the irrigation setup as much. Really just using the existing infrastructure. It's been pretty cool.
So like us, Jason, you live in California. Tell us what's in season right now and what are you growing on your farm?
So we are at the fall equinox, and we are still finishing our summer crops of coffee. We're still harvesting coffee for the summer. We have some early bananas that are just coming to fruition. We have passion fruits having their second fruition this year. We can already see, we actually surprisingly still have avocados hanging on our trees. That just shows you the health of our trees, that they're willing to hold that fruit until we say we're ready to pick it. But we also have next year's avocado crop already hanging on those trees right next to them. So it's a really special time. Even though we're pulling coffee fruit still, we still have coffee flower. That's these beautiful jasmine flowers that are blooming that will be setting next year's fruit. What else do we have coming on? This is a tough part of the year because it's the hottest part of the year as well. But we can already see the winter citrus coming online, which is very exciting. Anything else odd and beautiful? We have a couple of pitaya, some dragon fruits that are just sort of their end of summer beauty. So lots of things happening here.
So, a lot of people watching tonight, they may just have a backyard or a very small plot of garden that they could work in. What can folks do in a much smaller scale? Do you have to have all that land to start a farm?
Yeah, you don't need a lot of land. Now, even though I live on, we have a 10-acre property that we sit on here, and that's substantial. But I know I would do this even if I had a half acre or less than a half acre. If I just had a small backyard even, you can stack these trees, tall, short shrubs, small shrubs, low-lying plants. You can really design a space even in a 10 square foot zone. You can have fruit trees and edible plants, edible shrubs, perennials, etc. that will just continue to provide. They'll provide shade, they'll provide wildlife habitat, they'll provide food for various seasons. I really feel it's a special miracle that happens, that brews out of the ocean of soil that lives right below our feet. And when we add plants to that, we're changing the climate in our backyards. We're obviously supplementing our grocery bill. We're bringing in new foods, and in an abundant situation, if you have a tree that produces year round, and most fruit trees will produce for generations, you'll find yourself with more fruit than you even need for your own household. So you don't need a lot of space to do this. There's plenty of urban farms and urban gardens that are demonstrating this around the world. So if you haven't started yet, I highly recommend looking into urban gardening and seeing what's possible for your own food forest.
Speaking of urban environments, waste could be a huge part of the solution, and we have an expert on that tonight, Passion Murray. Hi, thank you for joining us from Detroit, Michigan. You are making dirt into a business through entrepreneurship. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I'm the co-founder of Detroit Dirt. I'm also co-founder of a consulting company called Culture of Carbon. And I consider myself an entrepreneur, eco-entrepreneur, and an activist and an advocate. There's a lot of things that I could say about myself, but I'm very passionate about the environment and making sure that we promote messages around combating climate change.
Passion, what does Detroit Dirt do exactly?
So Detroit Dirt was a model that was created about a good 12 years ago. And the focus of the model is to divert food waste from landfills and as well as processing herbivore manure and making worm castings. So Detroit Dirt promotes composting and healthy soils. Our main objective in the beginning was to be an engine for urban farming, and then that translated or transferred, I should say, certain messages to the community. So the model actually started to take form and become more of an engine for waste reduction. So I would have to say that, you know, our focus primarily started off with food waste, but now we're looking at, you know, how to, or to at least get messages out there around waste reduction and waste diversion because of the direct connection to food waste and climate change.
Literally turning dirt into dollars. Passion, thank you. Your business is an inspiration.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
One person we haven't heard from yet is Nicole Shanahan. Hi, Nicole.
Thanks for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, you've been a huge part of this movie, and we'd love to hear a little bit about you and what brought you to this project.
I'm the president and founder of Be Echo Foundation. We invest in 3 impact areas, one of which is a healthy and livable planet. And I was working on a white paper about the relationship between carbon and soil at the time that I was introduced to Kiss the Ground film. And once I saw it and I saw that Gabe Brown, a farmer from North Dakota, was in it, I dropped the white paper and figured that I should put all of my effort in this area behind this film because you guys have done such a great job putting it together and telling the story. And so really excited to be involved.
Nicole, one thing you've really helped us with is making it possible to have Kiss the Ground be free in schools across America and around the world. Can you tell our audience what you think that teachers can do to have regeneration be a part of their curriculum in schools and colleges?
There's really room for curriculum for every age as it relates to regenerative agriculture, from school gardening programs all the way up through mass ag programs at our top agricultural universities. There's been efforts, for example, at Iowa State to create prairie strips on unused and unplanted areas of farmland. And these have incredibly valuable restorative and regenerative impacts. I saw this film with my elementary school kids, and they really understood and grasped the concept that there's a difference between a regenerative tomato and a tomato grown on lands with depleted soils. So I think that comparison is really valuable today, that we should all be looking at our fruits and vegetables through this lens, understanding that, you know, there's so much potential in soil to do so much more for us.
My last question, Nicole, what's one thing that you hope people take away from the film?
I hope people take away from this film that there's an incredible synergy between our soil and our livelihoods. And it's really amazing that soil is one of the most high producing natural resources we have. And my hope is that everyone from every walk of life is inspired by this mission, because it's really a tangible mission to use our soils in a way that really helps us thrive on the planet.
Nicole, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks everyone for being here, and please be sure to check out Kiss the Ground film on Netflix.
We want to thank everyone for coming tonight. A Kiss the Ground is a movie, but it's also a movement. And it's a movement away from cynicism and despair and toward real actionable solutions that can balance our climate in a relatively short period of time. It's also a movement toward a sane food system that would put money back in farmers' pockets, that would help restore damaged ecosystems, and would regenerate the fundamental resource to our society, the soil.
Watch the movie on Netflix, share the trailer on social, and join the movement to become a soil hero. We can do this. It's not too late.
It's definitely not too late. Goodbye to our panelists.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
And Jason Mraz, I believe you have something to play to take us home.
Hey everyone, thanks so much. I'm going to play a song for us. This is I Won't Give Up. It's from the film. I absolutely loved it when Woody turns to the camera and says, I won't give up if you don't give up. This is a song that was written for anyone who has a challenge they're trying to meet, a goal they're trying to reach. We all are trying to reach that goal of carbon drawdown, of solving the climate crisis, of having better food systems that help us rebuild our soil and not tear them apart. We're all looking for better ways to live in harmony with the planet. So thanks for not giving up on this cause. Thanks for hearing this song and putting it in the film. Thanks to the Tickells and to Kiss the Ground. Myself and Michael Natter, who wrote this song, we donated the song to the film because we wanted this film to thrive. Thank you for tuning in. This is I Won't Give Up. When I look into your eyes, it's like watching the night sky or a beautiful sunrise. There's so much they hold. Well, I won't give up on us, even if the skies get rough. I'm giving you all of my love. I'm still looking up. And when you're needing your space to do some navigating, we'll be here patiently waiting to see what you find. 'Cause even the stars, they burn, some even fall to the earth. We've got a lot to learn. God knows we're worth it. I don't want to be someone who walks away so easily. I'm here to stay and make the difference that I can make. Oh my gosh. Our differences, they do a lot to teach us how to use the tools and gifts we got. Yeah, we got a lot at stake. And in the end, you're still my friend. At least we did intend for us to work. We didn't break, we didn't burn. We had to learn how to bend without the world caving in. I had to learn what I got in what I'm not and who I I'm still looking up. Keep looking up, y'all. And plant perennials. Plant year-round plants that will help keep our soils covered and keep you stoked with all the many different fruits and plants and veggies and herbs and delicious goods that will blossom up from that soil. Thanks so much for tuning in.